All right, back for another Radical Persuasion where we discover the psychology and copywriting secrets behind great offers. So my name is Michael McGovern. Today we're going to be going over Basecamp, which is as you can see from this headline, an all-in-one toolkit for working remotely. It's in the same categories and conversations as like Slack or other, centralized work solutions as a software as a service or a SaaS. So going to dive into what they're doing persuasively. Real quick first, just a bit about me. I'm a direct response copywriter and growth strategist. I help entrepreneurial businesses in info, health, tech, and finance get more sales using especially emails, landing pages, and sales letters or VSLs, video sales letters. So if you want to learn more about working with me or to get access to a free video training, just go ahead and go to my website, which you can see right here. All right, let's do it. So Basecamp, this is their homepage of their website. So let's see what they're doing to try to get new users when they land here. So right off the bat, I see a purple or bluish little banner. It says Basecamp is a premier project and internal communication tool for remote work from home teams worldwide. So I think I noticed this as well on one other one I analyzed this week, where they've got just this little banner up top, so that no matter where you're scrolling, so it's like scrolling all over the page, it stays here. So it's trying to really just make sure that you get the message that this is to manage projects and communicate with your team while working remotely. So I'm filming this in July 2020, where we're just a few months into this whole 2020 crisis type situation. So I think a lot of these companies, especially like online companies, Basecamp, Slack, Dropbox, a lot of these guys are really well positioned to take advantage of this moment, just like Zoom was. And they made huge gains in their stock back in March. But anyways, let's dive in. So the headline, the all-in-one toolkit for working remotely. So that's great. It's just saying everything you need is here to work remotely. Now, I'm guessing that in February 2020, before you know what hit the fan, that this was not their headline. So I think Basecamp, like a few other companies, switched strategies when things got really, really different for a lot of companies that were scrambling to find solutions to their remote problems. Maybe trying to manage or coordinate their teams for the first time remotely, where for many years they just walked in the office. So I also like this little 5-star testimonials they've got here at the top. Maybe they expand on them down later. Usually, a little testimonial's got someone's name, face, and stuff like that. But these are also remind me of like movie trailers, like stunning or a wild ride, and then they've got what the critics are saying. Kind of cool. Okay, so before Basecamp, you're wondering how you'll quickly transition your team to remote work. Yep. People are stressed, work feels scattered, projects are slipping, and it's tough to see and manage everything. So right now, they're trying to call out the pain that somebody might be feeling. If someone is stressed trying to keep their business together during these times and they can relate to this, they're immediately like, yes, that's how it feels. You guys understand my problem. And people don't buy when they understand you. They buy when they feel understood. So just by calling out the pain point here and making them feel like, yeah, that is how it is going for me right now, it piques the interest in saying, well, maybe there's a way out. And then after Basecamp, soon you'll be feeling like, hey, we got this. Everything will be organized in one place. Your team will be working together, even though they're apart, and you'll be on top of things, and a sense of calm will set in. So now we're setting the dream. We're building the dream. We're putting you in a place where you are now, and we're giving you the mental relief of putting you in a place in the future where things are better. And what is the special solution to getting there? Well, guess what? It's Basecamp. I also like how they do you'll be feeling like, hey, we got this. It makes it feel a little more friendly, a little less like you're, you know, talking just to some faceless corporation. So I like that it's a little more casual there. Um, Maybe that appeals to some people, other people not, but I liked it. So then the call to action here, give Basecamp a try. And try it free is up here in the top right. So it looks like it's a free trial, just like a lot of SaaS offers are. And there's a cool call to action right here. And also like this, 4,159 companies signed up in the last week alone. So that's cool. It gives kind of like an updated number of how many people are signing up. Makes people feel like they're part of a little bit of a movement. And then instead of saying over 4,000 people have signed up, they use the specific number because it's more believable and it feels more tangible to somebody than hearing, oh, more than 4,000. That just kind of goes over your head. So then we scroll down here, create a place in Basecamp for each project or team. So get set up to work remote. Involve everyone who's working on the project. So it shows you can add your teammates here. It shows the different sections of the software. And by the way, I'm doing Basecamp because I just have more hands-on experience using Basecamp than say like a Slack. Who I guess Slack they're sort of like the main brand in this type of product or space. But I've used Basecamp and I like it. So Basecamp would love this, what I'm doing now, which is plugging them, which is also very persuasive. So yeah, it's just kind of walking through as people scroll to get to see like what the interface looks like. So that way you're not like sitting watching a video demo. I'm sure they have video demos, but this maybe is just a little faster, more visual way to kind of grasp what's going on. And then instead of like overwhelming somebody with just what is basically a screenshot, it does these little cursive, looking like they're written notes just to kind of point out what these things are. In case somebody gets overwhelmed, they don't want to read all this, they don't want to try to decipher it. I like that. Use dedicated tools to discuss, plan work, give status updates, ask questions, blah, blah, blah. See what happened when no meetings required. That's awesome. So it's also showing that there's a chronological order to how everything is happening really simply in one place. And boom, there you go. Just as I'm saying that, a secondary headline as you scroll down. And this is interesting. There's a lot of writing here. I don't see this often with software as a service where there's a lot of writing on a landing page, but looks like they typed this out specifically for COVID-19 here. So one place, not all over the place. That's cool. It's just saying everything right here. Don't get disorganized. Just do this. It'll be great. Because of COVID-19, your company is likely scrambling to figure out how to transition to remote work. It may feel daunting, but you're in the right place with Basecamp. We built Basecamp to run our entire remote company, and we've been working remotely for 20 years. We know what it takes, we do it every day, and we built those learnings into Basecamp. Tens of thousands of other companies rely on Basecamp every day. So this is awesome. This is combining two cool elements here. One is what I learned from a guy, the terminology I learned from a guy named Kyle Milligan, another good copywriter guy. He called this chef eating his own cooking. So this is basically saying like, we walk the walk. We're selling this, and guess what? We live it. We do it, and that's powerful for people because they want to know that this works. And just to say that they know what it takes because guess what? This is our product and we built it remotely. It's really powerful. And then another little bit of a social proof here, tens of thousands of other companies rely on Basecamp every day. So this word rely, I think, is touching on somebody's fear that, maybe I can't trust this, that it's a safe choice to go with. So that's cool. And then I clicked through this before recording. It's a replay of a live webinar that the founders did talking about how to switch to remote. So that's nice to have. Remote work is especially challenging when stuff's spread out across emails, files, task managers, spreadsheets, chats, meetings, etc. Things get lost. You don't know where to look for stuff, and people put the right information in the wrong place. But when it's all together in Basecamp, you'll see where everything is, understand what everyone's working on, and know exactly where to put the next thing everyone needs to know about. Your team can access Basecamp from anywhere on the web, blah, 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 blah. This modern way, this is the Basecamp way to work. Basecamp is different. Take a deeper look how it works. So I think they give this little call to action. Obviously, the goal is to get people to just start and try it. But maybe some people they want more, as much information as they can. They're really analytical, so they've got this little link here. But notice that it's black. So they keep it black. They don't like put a big old yellow circle sign around it because ideally they're not learning more. They're just getting started. But maybe that's on purpose. But yeah, I think this is a powerful section because I also, before recording this, looked up Slack, and Slack does have a main core office, so they have people that come into work. So Basecamp may be trying to differentiate themselves here, saying that we actually live this, and we all work remotely and always have for 20 years, which is crazy to think. That's, what is that, 2000, year 2000? Yeah. Wow. Time is moving fast. Okay. And then boom, same, continuing here. We literally wrote the book on working remotely. This is so perfect. This is like a moment that I'm sure they're, internally they're just going like crazy that this is their moment that they've been waiting for. The book is literally called Remote. Let's see, we don't make software remote. We wrote a book, influential book. Remote shows both employers and employees how to work together remotely from any desk, anywhere, anytime, any place. Common pitfalls, learn best practices, and get up to speed quick. Boom. So now they're pitching this book. But again, it's not yellow. It's learn more about remote. It's like someone's super interested to learn more. But notice the first call to action is this big old yellow, hey, give this a try. Try it free. As you scroll, this one's going to stay with us the whole time. Try it free, try it free, try it free. But this is really powerful. I don't know when this was written. No, let's just try it. Let's just take it out. When was this written? Let's see. Let's click on Barnes & Noble here, see when this is written. The reason I'm looking this up is because it would also be powerful to know that they wrote it a long time ago, that they saw this coming, because when people make good predictions that come true, oh yeah, publication date 2013. So if I was Basecamp, what I would do is also mention that, that this was published in 2013, because that's powerful. It's like, hey, we're getting ready for the future. We've known what the future is going to bring, and here it is. But otherwise, it's a great way to mention that. Companies change for the better when they work in Basecamp. Software development shops, design firms, freelancers, consultants. Okay, fundamentally improve the project workflow. Yeah, so this is now getting into something similar that I saw with the ClickFunnels homepage, which is you want to make sure, because they're at this point in the page, they haven't gotten started yet, they still want to learn more, they're still scrolling. They might be wondering to themselves at this point, this sounds interesting, yeah, but can it work for me? I'm an architect, or I'm a nonprofit, so could this possibly work for me? So now it's saying companies change for the better when they work to Basecamp. So it wants this big generalized word of companies, but then it also, in the subtext, calls out specific companies so that you can feel more included if you happen to land in one of these little niches, which is kind of likely because these are very broad as well. Some of them are. And then we get into testimonials, always very powerful. Third-party confirmation that this is great. So Toby Luchki, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I remember listening to his Tim Ferriss interview, CEO of Shopify. That's powerful. So used it for 1 million projects, beautiful software, stayed true. It's resisted every wrong trend, highly recommended. Let's see. And then NASA, this is cool. We're all collaborating, shows coming. We don't need to spend as much time in meetings now that we use Basecamp. Transparency and communication has increased. Yeah, so this is just from, yeah, there's another link. Again, not yellow, just black. It's, they're like, okay, if you really want to know, you can click here, but ideally, boom, oh, there it is. Yep, a yellow one. Ideally, we're wanting you to get started. So SaaS is very much about like, let's get you started. Let's get you in. Boom, go. Because someone might land this page and any number of things in the entire world can distract somebody from getting started with something. This is a great moment for them because the pain is very high for a lot of people. They need a solution now. So this is they're built for this moment. But this is a cool testimonial section. I like that it's really big, really headline. The only thing I would consider changing is you've got somebody from NASA in here, right? And then you've got Toby from Shopify, massive brands. The only thing I would consider doing is making it a little more visual. Like you could still get the same effect if you drag these over to the right, and then over here maybe do a headshot of the person who's saying it. If this guy's in I don't know if he's an astronaut, but if he's in his astronaut suit, that would be powerful. The Shopify logo would be powerful if they got permission for that. So those are a few of the things I would consider improving in that section. But it's all great. Cool little footer here. It shows their exponential growth throughout the years. This is nice. It just shows them that they're not a fly-by-night shop. They've been around. They've got a track record. They've got long-term growth. And in 2020, they hit 3 million accounts signed up. This looks like a normal growth curve, but I'm guessing, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that maybe they got a little bump from what's happened in 2020 in the world. So cool thing. That's it. The other thing I wanted to highlight, I'm not going to click through all this stuff. These are actually awesome landing pages too. But just for time's sake, I'm going to just hop over to just one. And I thought this was really cool. So as I'm scrolling through this, just pay attention to two things. Number one, before switching to Basecamp. Number two, after switching to Basecamp. What is different as you start scrolling? What changes in the page as you go from the top to the bottom? So I thought this was really cool because again, they just hit you with a ton of testimonials. It's awesome. And these are anti-testimonials, kind of. They're still testimonials, but they're saying that basically, before life without Basecamp was hell. Look at all these apps you had to try to coordinate. It's crazy. We can't do this anymore. It's insane. And then after they switch to the good stuff. But what I thought was cool about this is if you ever watched TV infomercials, and let's say it's a guy they're selling a hose, and it's some guy just trying to get his hose to work in the garden, and it's just not working, and he just throws it down in frustration, and everything is gray. But then when they introduce the Hose Master 5000, that's conveniently you get 2 for $19.99, everything switches to color. So I thought that this is a cool way that they go from dark to light in a visual way that maybe it's just darkness to lightness that could be a small psychological switch for somebody, that it's like, oh, I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling kind of dark. I'm feeling like I'm in this pit of despair. And let me see what people are saying after they switch to Basecamp. Then it goes to light. Like maybe somebody doesn't even notice that, but it's a nice little way to contrast where you are and where you could be once you switch to Basecamp. And then they've got another juicy yellow call to action. Read them yourself. Yep, try the difference. So that's it. Cool company. A few things that I liked and would also consider making it even better. So that's it. So hope you enjoyed this. This was kind of my last in this little session of doing SaaS, software as a service, copywriting, landing page persuasion. And then I'm going to be switching to different types of businesses next week. But I'll probably be back to SaaS at some point. So if you want to learn about working with me, just visit my website here. You can also get a free copywriting video training as well. So thanks for sticking with me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one.